Hey everyone, JSD Cool here, and welcome to another episode of Coolcraft Season 6. Now, in the last episode, me and JD Cool worked on building the witch farm and the perimeter that surrounds it, which was successful, and has allowed us to get large quantities of glowstone, which I've then subsequently used in a live stream to continue building out the roads here in downtown, because a lot has changed since the last episode. First of all, people actually helped me for once. That's great. And we built out the roads around here. As you can see, we didn't get all the way done, but we got a lot of it done, which was great. There's also been some progress over by the village here, where a wall started being constructed around it for the final enclosure. That's great. And then also some roads were built around here. At the end of the previous episode, I came over here near the village to start excavating out and flattening an area for what we're going to be doing in this episode, which is building the giant building. As you can see, there's a big old schematic here that I'm going to be building in a moment. And yeah, as you can see, I've also done a bit of the roads here, put some glowstone in on the edge, and I've also collected almost all the materials here. And there's a lot of shulker boxes here. I had to get some more from the end. There is one more resource that I need in a fairly large quantity for this building, which we can find back in downtown. Now, that resource is black wool in particular, which we can, of course, acquire from JD Cool's woodshop. And actually, the only resource that's actually available for sale is black wool. Now, he's got this yellow and white wool that he's separated out for us to use on the roads, but the black wool is in stock and ready for purchase here. So I believe what we do to start with is kind of this chest and chuck our diamonds in. I believe it's 2 diamonds per shulker box. That stuff will get processed, and then there's this giant segment display on the wall here, which will display the number of diamonds that is currently, or credits currently in the system. You can also put in some shulker boxes to help pay this down. Now we have 6 credits loaded in, so I think that's just to select, yeah, I think that just selects that. And then I think we press this button here to purchase a single shulker box. Okay, yep, that went down by 2. And there it is. Shulker box and black. Yeah, I think JD Cool is just storing stuff in this chest. For some reason there's a fortune pickaxe in here. I don't know. But yeah, now we'll just have to press this button 2 more times and we'll be able to... Right, it's 2 credits left. There's the second box. Alright, all the credits have been used up, and there's the final box. Now that I have acquired all the resources for this build, let's hop into a time-lapse of the construction here. And then replay mod is also not out yet, so it's also going to be just a static third-person time-lapse. Oh well. After a very long grind, the exterior of the building here has been completed. That took a long time to actually build the exterior. I knew it was going to take a while, but I didn't think it would take that long, and I thought it would get a bit more done. I also had to pause a few times towards the end and forgot to unpause. So there's that. But yeah, actually, I don't know if I have explicitly stated this at all, but yeah, this is going to be the villager trading hall location for this season. And so yeah, the villagers there, very eager to move in, but it's not yet done. I've only actually done the exterior here, and actually we can... Oh, out of fireworks, well, okay. You can kind of get a sense for its size here, because, you know, the spyglass is nice, but it doesn't really give you a sense for the size. This thing, okay, here. All the way up there. Yeah, that's tall. So, just to give you a sense, Y66 here is where the bottom at, and I believe the very top of the lightning rod is at like 214. So, not exactly a short building. In fact, I think the ground starts to not render in once you get up that high. So let me give you a bit of a tour around the building as it currently stands. So this is the first floor of the lobby. I'm not entirely sure what's going to go down here eventually, but I think to start with for now, and in the near future, this is going to kind of be this is kind of going to be where I'm going to home base from here. My in-between bases base, if you will. So when I move out of my starter house, which is over that way somewhere, and while I'm in the process of building my final storage system, which is going to be basically where the village over there is now, hence why I needed to build this building, I'll probably be basing out of the bottom of this. There's a lot of space down here, so plenty of chest space and all that. But yeah, the one problem is there's no doors or anything. I don't have an official way in or out of here, which I'll figure that out. Moving up to the second floor, this is the trading floor, and here's where all the villagers will actually be for people to trade with. Now, I do actually have a ton of villager trading stalls. We definitely won't be filling all of them planned up here, as well as like proper lighting system that isn't just spamming torches down. But I use sea lanterns for some reason for the lights, so I don't have any of those yet. So I just spam the torches down here, and I'll eventually put in all the trading stalls. You know, they'll go all here. It'll be great. All the villagers we currently have will be split up by profession, so I don't have to go in between the villagers trying to find the clerics or the librarians or whatever. They'll just be all, you know, in the right sections. Now, moving up to the next floor, this is wildly unfinished here, the most unfinished. Like, at least these things have, you know, proper walls, a roof, and all that. Proper ceiling, actually, here. This doesn't have anything, actually, because this room is supposed to have walls and a ceiling made out of white concrete, and I apparently forgot to actually acquire any white concrete for this build, so I just placed in the floor in the center kind of dividing wall here. But this is the onboarding department here. So this end here is, well, there's nothing specific here. I guess we could turn this into a waiting room, but there's nothing really too particularly interesting out here. But on the other side of these iron doors here, this is where we will actually be able to assign villagers trades. So this here is some powdered snow, which there will be a drop chute here going from all the way basically at the top, where villagers will fall down, and then we can do their trade setting in here. There's iron doors, obviously, so they can't escape. But right here, there will be a permanent installation for a rail. I'll just walk around here. A rail which we can use to get the villagers out onto the trading floor. So the rail will come out here, go around, and then the point of this here is this is where the rail will come down, and then we'll scatter them off into whatever is actually going to go there. As I alluded to a moment ago, all the way up here, there is going to be a stock of villagers, specifically the villager breeder, far away where the golems won't spawn anywhere important, and we won't have to be bothered with them. The design of this building is also built in such a way where there shouldn't be any other blocks within range up here that the iron golems would theoretically be able to spawn. So this platform here is actually kind of where the bottommost part of the villager breeder is going to go. On top of that, we will have a system to catch the iron golems, and then the ceiling is theoretically going to be far enough above where golems won't spawn up there. But yeah, besides that, most of this tower will actually be completely empty, just for looks. All the windows are planned to be blacked out with the black wool that I acquired at the beginning. I just didn't feel like putting that in during the time-lapse because that wouldn't be too visually interesting. Would take a lot of time, and also I didn't want to spend all that time putting in the black wool. But we'll do it. Oh yeah, up towards the ceiling is going to be tough. I might need to make a hole around the edge, but yeah, we'll do that in a moment here. So yeah, let's get doing some more work on the interiors here. The black wool on the inside of the windows has been installed here, and yeah, it makes this place very dark on the inside because no light's getting through. It is also nighttime, coincidentally, but that's not something that you can actually tell from just being on this floor. You'd have to go down to this floor in order to determine that. I have put in all the stuff for the onboarding room here. Now, of course, apart from the lights, because for some mysterious reason, I decided, you know what, let's use sea lanterns for lights in here. Because, you know, it thematically fits, but I would definitely have a guardian farm at this point in the season. Lights aren't in the ceiling, but besides that, this room is in. Obviously, this is where the villagers' trades are going to get set. And this here is going to be a drop chute down from the top, where the villagers are going to be coming from. Speaking of which, let's go up there and build that now. The villager source apparatus here has been installed at the top of the tower. Yeah, you know, villager breeder, pretty standard stuff. Tons of beds. We got a farm here that I couldn't be fucked to actually finish filling in with crops. And then we have the exit method here. There's, you know, simple standard method. There's a button all the way down there in the onboarding room that you press, which will trigger this up here. Very complex system. But anyhow, it sends a signal up here, which activates the system, opening this door and putting a floor in here. That will also extend to this workstation at the very end. So the villager will then walk forward through this string, springing the trap, which will then close the door, pull the floor out from under them, and let them drop all the way down the tower into the onboarding room. You know, pretty simple stuff. In addition to that, on top of the villager breeding apparatus, there is an iron golem catch mechanism. Because I don't want iron golems to just build up here. I kind of want them to, if they do decide to spawn, get killed, and the iron will be put in this chest here that I will almost never check, and it will certainly overflow. Moving on to the trading floor, I have put in all of the trading stalls here. Now, this is probably more trading stalls than I will ever need. But yeah, this is what they look like. And the way that they're gonna work is that we're gonna get villagers that come down from above, and we're just gonna stick them in here. They'll stay in their minecarts. Their workstation will be in the back. I'm gonna put some like slabs in the front to protect them a little bit in case anything gets in here. Now I'm also probably going to group up the villagers by like where they are gonna be. So like around here somewhere, we're probably gonna have the librarians because those guys are quite important. There's a lot of space in these trading banks here. Over this way we might have like clerics and fletchers and that like, and I don't know if I'm going to populate all the villager types, but I'm definitely not going to be able to populate all these trading stalls. But hey, this is going to be an open trading hall for anyone to come in and trade with the villagers, so if they want to populate more of these stalls, they can go nuts as long as they keep the villagers organized. We'll also say that it looks very much kind of like a work site in here. Because I know what the final thing is supposed to look like, and the kind of spotty lighting and it being more of a orangish color instead of like the lighter color from sea lanterns that it's going to be in the end is just like, oh wow, yeah, this feels like a work site. And especially feels like a work site when you come down here and it's just completely empty. I have transferred in all the villagers that we had over at the old villager trading outpost over there, but specifically only the ones at the bottom, you know, not the villager breeder ones yet, the ones that we have assigned traits to, and I have, well, kind of organized them here in a little way. So we have the librarians right here, and we apparently have like a lot of, we have a fair amount of them. But yeah, now they're all organized into this area. We have, across the way here, we have, on this side here, we have the couple fletchers that we had facing the staircase, because we only had a couple of them. Over here we have the clerics, which I'm hoping to actually grow these a little bit. And if we want more clerics, we can expand them out that way eventually. Going over a bit, we also have the toolsmith type people, or the blacksmith types. The blacksmith types are here. And again, growing this, we can go out that way as well. This is kind of how I want to set things out. I'll get like a type of villager and put them in an area. So like, if we need more space for the librarians here, we can just start coming over to this row here and then, you know, continue on. We could do something like that. Obviously there's not that many types of villagers, and of course, as I've said before, never gonna fill all these spaces, but you know, having all these different cubicles around here is pretty nice. Also, I've actually put chains on the ceiling which will eventually hold the light sources that are going in here, which is, again, long strips of sea lanterns, which, again, I do not have. What was I thinking when I built this building? Or designed it, rather. The villagers from the old villager breeder have now been moved over to the top, I guess you could say, the penthouse of the International Trade Tower here. And I believe they also have been producing quite a bit. Now that the work that we could quite possibly mostly do today on the inside of the tower has been completed, I've started work on the roads outside. As you can see, I've well, I've finished laying the area in stone and cutting out all the lines for glowstone. Now before I go any further with plugging stuff into the roads, I want to talk a little bit more about the design of this building itself. So first of all, it's kind of at least supposed to be in style by like a mid 20th century, like, you know, 60s, 70s time period, like brutalist architecture, as you can see, with the giant tower in the center on this giant base here, which is also, you know, a little bit, you know, keep the villagers away from everything and, you know, make it a little less hard to build. So I did use some reference images on Google for building this, and then I also kind of just, you know, went along with it. I actually don't know what buildings I was referencing, but hey, that was a thing. This also might also partially be inspired by one of the buildings in GTA 5 where you get, in GTA Online, it's one of the locations where you can have the agency, and I think Dirty Cool has his agency. That's kind of what this building is styled by, and I actually did, you know, design this myself a couple months back before the season started. Was it before the season started, or was it as the season started? I don't even remember. I think it was right before the season started when I actually designed this thing. But yeah, this looks actually quite realistic. If you can just imagine that the smooth stone going up on the sides of the building here is, you know, steel that is, you know, light gray in color, and that the smooth stone slabs that will be on the sidewalks here is concrete for the sidewalks, then, you know, it's really immersive. And actually, it's actually slightly architecturally sound on the building up here, because this is more of like a tubular steel building design where it doesn't have columns in the center. Instead, the perimeter of the building is lined with steel, like a bunch of steel columns. Yes, Jerry, cool, a new video. A bunch of steel columns that actually are the structural support, which is kind of, I guess, what this kind of is, because it's basically nothing on the inside of this. As for the bottom here, and directly underneath that, well, it's Minecraft, so that doesn't really matter. Anyhow, let's put some more glowstone in here. Okay, so I just went ahead and actually just finished off the roads entirely, traffic lights and all. Yeah, so now, apart from an entranceway of any kind, this building is now finished. So now I'm going to turn my attention to dismantling this old and now abandoned villager breeder setup here, as it is no longer necessary, an eyesore, and kind of in the way of future progress, if you know what I mean. And the old stuff is now gone. The only thing that actually remains of the old villager trading setup is this bit of damage to the church right here, as well as the water and this box here, which was used as part of the process to lure the villagers into the trading, or the breeding apparatus. Now I'm gonna go add proper entrances to this building here, as I keep just busting through the walls every time I need to get inside, which turns out that's a lot. Doors have been installed on all sides of the building, right in the dead center, just kind of replaced the column that was there with a door, or with doors, buttons to open them inside. I specifically did iron doors because I didn't want people to just like leave these doors open and potentially let zombies in that could wander up to the villagers and all that stuff. And so, you know, iron doors with buttons and pressure plates to make sure they remain closed when they're not supposed to be open. I'm actually going to start moving in here and setting up a storage system, as this is going to be my base of operations basically from now on, because yeah, we're gonna just start working over here in the my area of the city. So yeah, we're gonna need to actually be basing here instead of where I was. Also, my storage is a wreck and I kind of need something better. Alright, I've moved all my stuff over to the storage, this little makeshift storage room that I've built here on the first floor of the International Trade Tower here. And I've started to organize stuff, put some in the test, but there's a lot of stuff here, so it's gonna take me a while to go through all of it, and that's not too visually interesting. So now, for the time being, I'm gonna have to say thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Check out my game, which is linked in the description, and I will see you all in the next episode of Coolcraft Season 6. Bye!